From the air, New York City is a breathtaking spectacle, a sprawling metropolis that seems to stretch endlessly in every direction. Towers of glass and steel pierce the sky, forming a dense and chaotic, yet strangely harmonious skyline. These skyscrapers are not just buildings, they are symbols of human ambition and ingenuity. Each building tells a story, a chapter in the city's long and fascinating architectural history. From the early 20th century Art Deco masterpieces to the sleek modernist designs of today, New York's architecture is a living museum. From the iconic Empire State Building, which once held the title of the world's tallest building, to the sleek lines of One World Trade Center, these structures reflect the ambitions, dreams, and innovations of generations past and present. They stand as monuments to the city's resilience and its ever-evolving skyline. To truly understand New York, we must journey back in time, exploring the architectural styles that have shaped this urban landscape. Each era has left its mark, from the brownstones of the 19th century to the glass towers of the 21st. This journey begins centuries ago, long before the steel and glass giants of today dominated the skyline. It starts with the modest structures of the early settlers, evolving through the centuries into the architectural marvels we see today. It starts with humble beginnings, with the arrival of Dutch settlers and the establishment of New Amsterdam in the 17th century. These early buildings laid the foundation for what would become one of the most architecturally diverse cities in the world. The earliest European settlements in New York City, then known as New Amsterdam, bore little resemblance to the bustling metropolis of today. Back in the 17th century, this area was a modest outpost, a far cry from the towering skyscrapers and busy streets we now associate with the city. Dutch architecture, with its distinctive gabled roofs and use of brick and stone, dominated the landscape. These buildings were not just functional, but also reflected the Dutch aesthetic sensibilities, bringing a piece of Europe to the New World. Simple houses lined narrow streets, clustered around the fort at the southern tip of Manhattan Island. These homes were built close together, fostering a sense of community among the settlers who were navigating the challenges of their new environment. Though few examples of Dutch colonial architecture remain standing today, their influence can still be felt in the city's layout. The remnants of these structures serve as a historical footprint, reminding us of the city's origins and the people who first called it home. The irregular street plan of Lower Manhattan, a stark contrast to the grid system further north, harks back to these early days. This layout, with its winding streets and unexpected turns, is a direct legacy of the Dutch settlers' approach to urban planning. It's a reminder of a time when New York City was a fledgling settlement, struggling to establish itself on the edge of a vast continent. The city's early days were marked by perseverance and adaptation, qualities that continue to define New York to this day. As New York City grew in importance after the American Revolution, its architecture began to reflect the young nation's aspirations for grandeur and order. Federal-style buildings, characterized by their symmetrical facades, Palladian windows, and use of classical motifs, became increasingly common in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. This period also saw the implementation of the Commissioner's Plan of 1811, which imposed a grid system on most of Manhattan. This revolutionary urban planning decision, while criticized by some for its monotony, fostered order and efficiency, ultimately shaping the city's development for centuries to come. The grid facilitated the construction of larger, more complex buildings and paved the way for the city's unprecedented upward expansion. The mid-19th century witnessed the rise of the brownstone era, a period defined by the ubiquitous row houses clad in this distinctive reddish-brown sandstone. Brownstones, with their bay windows and decorative ironwork, became synonymous with New York City living. This era also saw a resurgence of interest in Gothic architecture, particularly for religious and civic buildings. Grace Church and St. Patrick's Cathedral, with their soaring arches and intricate stained glass windows, are stunning examples of Gothic revival architecture in the city. This style, inspired by medieval European cathedrals, brought a sense of drama and spirituality to the cityscape. To Section 5. The Gilded Age and the Birth of the Skyscraper. The late 19th and early 20th centuries marked a significant turning point in New York City's architectural history. During this transformative era, The city began to evolve from a collection of low-rise buildings into a metropolis, defined by its towering structures. The Industrial Revolution, coupled with massive waves of immigration, fueled unprecedented economic growth and a dramatic increase in population density. This influx of people and capital created a fertile ground for architectural innovation and urban expansion. This period, known as the Gilded Age, saw the rise of opulent Beaux-Arts buildings like the Plaza Hotel and Grand Central Terminal. These structures were not only architectural marvels, but also symbols of the city's burgeoning wealth and cultural aspirations. Technological advancements, including the invention of the elevator and the development of steel frame construction, allowed architects to reach for the sky. These innovations made it possible to build higher than ever before, fundamentally changing the city's skyline. The skyscraper, a building type pioneered in Chicago, found its ultimate expression in New York City. The city's unique combination of economic power, technological innovation, and architectural ambition made it the perfect canvas for these towering structures. Buildings like the Flatiron Building, with its distinctive triangular shape, and the Woolworth Building, once the tallest in the world, pushed the boundaries of engineering and redefined the city's skyline. These iconic structures not only showcased the possibilities of modern architecture, but also became enduring symbols of New York City's identity and its relentless pursuit of progress. Section 6. Art Deco Dreams and Modernist Visions. The Roaring Twenties ushered in the Art Deco era, a style characterized by geometric patterns, lavish ornamentation, and a celebration of modernity. The Chrysler Building, with its gleaming spire and intricate detailing, and the Empire State Building, an enduring symbol of New York City's ambition, are perhaps the most iconic examples of Art Deco architecture. By the mid-20th century, modernism, a movement that embraced simplicity, functionality, and new materials, began to dominate. The Lever House and the Seagram Building, with their sleek glass facades and minimalist designs, exemplified this shift towards a more austere aesthetic. This architectural movement reflected a changing world, one embracing technological advancements and a rejection of traditional styles. Section 7. Postmodernism and Beyond. The latter half of the 20th century saw a reaction against the austerity of modernism. Postmodernism, a playful and eclectic style that often incorporated historical references and unusual forms, emerged in the 1970s and 80s. The AT&T building, now known as the Sony Tower, with its controversial Chippendale-style pediment, is a prime example of postmodern architecture. Today, New York City's architectural landscape is a fascinating mix of styles, reflecting the city's diversity and constant evolution. Contemporary architects continue to push boundaries, experimenting with new materials, technologies, and sustainable design practices. Section 8. Sustainability and the Future Skyline. As New York City confronts the challenges of climate change and a growing population, sustainability has become a paramount concern in contemporary architecture. Architects are incorporating green building technologies such as green roofs, solar panels, and rainwater harvesting systems into their designs. One World Trade Center, rising from the ashes of the September 11th attacks, embodies this shift towards sustainability. The building boasts numerous energy-efficient features, including a rainwater collection system and a facade made of ultra-clear glass that maximizes natural light. The High Line, a public park built on a historic freight rail line, exemplifies another trend, repurposing existing infrastructure to create innovative and sustainable public spaces. Section 9. A Legacy of Innovation. From the Dutch colonial houses of New Amsterdam to the sustainable skyscrapers of the 21st century, New York City's architecture reflects its constant evolution. Each era has left its mark on the cityscape, creating a rich tapestry of styles and influences. The city's architectural legacy is a testament to the ingenuity and ambition of its people. New York City has always been a place where dreams are made tangible, where architects, engineers, and builders push the limits of what's possible. This spirit of innovation continues to shape the skyline today. Section 10. Conclusion, a city in constant evolution, New York City's architectural journey is far from over. As the city continues to grow and change, so too will its skyline. New challenges, from climate change to housing affordability, will undoubtedly shape the buildings of the future. One thing is certain, New York City will continue to be a global center of architectural innovation, a place where architects and designers push boundaries and redefine what's possible. The city's architectural legacy is a testament to its enduring spirit, its ability to adapt and reinvent itself while honoring its past. The future of New York City's architecture promises to be as dynamic, exciting, and awe-inspiring as its history.